And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL saying, what's good? How y'all doing? Happy Monday. I hope y'all had a good Monday today. I know I did. Just sitting here checking out the world, seeing what's going on. Yeah, man. It's a crazy time that we are living in. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What up, DL? Oh, man, I've been born and raised in Los Angeles. This situation has me reevaluating everything about my city, bro. That's from Canardac. What's good, bro? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, man. I feel you. That's why I'm not in LA no more, bro. I'm not out there for various reasons. That's for you, bro. I'm not out there for various reasons. You know what I mean? Brother Mike's in the house. What's good, brother? Thanks for the support. Always being there. I'm a day one. Yo, bro, hit me up. Instagram. You said you're coming out here in September. Hit me up, bro. We got to get together. You come out here in September, man. We're going to have to get together, make it, you know what I'm saying? Show you what's up out here in the Tampa area, bro. For sure. So hit me up, man. Don_Lewis.comedy. That's the Instagram. Don_Lewis.comedy, man. Hit me up, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got you. So, yeah, people, I was sitting around watching all the media. I mean, you know, y'all know what the news is. Like, we're trying to figure out what's going on with the Justice Department, what's going on with the FBI. It's not that I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just looking at this unfold. I think it's a better way. I'm watching it unfold. Y'all know I'm from different bubbles, and there's a bubble that I'm from that we know all about this. We understand law enforcement. We get it. By we, I mean those of us who were, let's say, dancing on the legal line. Right? We get it. And there's one thing we know. When the feds come see you, bro. When the feds come see you, man, it ain't no game. It ain't no game. You know what I mean? When the local boys come see you, when the state comes see you, yeah, whatever. That's why you got your lawyers for, whatever. But when the feds show up, it ain't no game. Brother Jason, what's good, man? Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Another one of the day ones. And so, yeah, man. And I lived in LA for 25 years. I was out there, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, LA was expensive, but I mean, I had some great times out there. I had some weird times out there, but I had some great times out there in LA, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It was, you know, it's a lot of transplants out there, man. So you meet some cool folks. It's hard. Not hard, but it's rare that you run across people who were born and raised in LA, especially in Hollywood when you're out there. You know, like Hollywood, San Fernando Valley, you know what I mean? Like Santa Monica, Burbank, all that kind of stuff. You know, Malibu, you know, Bel Air, Brentwood, all that. You tend to run into people who moved to LA. It's rare to come across folks who were, you know, born and raised in LA. You would every now and then, like in the West Valley, every now and then. You know what I mean? Canoga Park and all that, Reseda, you know what I mean? Like Selmar. Sometimes you run into people who were born and raised when you get deep into, you know, like deep into the valley like that. You know what I mean? Or if you're south of the 10, you know what I mean? Those from the area know what I mean when I say south of the 10. Like you go south of the 10, you bump into people, you know what I mean? That's their soil, for real. Born and raised, they out there doing their thing. So, and that doesn't mean that they out there doing like, you know, in the streets and all that. That just means they're living. They're doing their thing. They have, you know, it ranges, yo. Simply because you're from wherever you from, enter the hood here, doesn't mean that you know what I'm saying, gang banging and all that. It does not mean that. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna know people who from that world. It's like in Cincinnati, man. It's like people who knew us. We knew other folks. We were all doing what we were doing. We grew up and we did some things. Some people stayed in the streets. Some people moved on. You know what I mean? So I wanted to talk about what's going on in LA right now, man, because it's kind of crazy, bro. Like the people have been talking about this for a minute on various platforms. Right? I know there are people over on the Patrick Bet David platform talking about what's going on in LA. There's rappers out there talking about what's going on in LA. I'm talking about like OGs, like people like Whack 100 talking about what's going on in LA right now and how everything is pretty much off the rails. It's off the rails out there right now, man. There are no rules right now. And Brother Canardac, like, yep, true. People call me a unicorn when they meet me. Shocked that I was raised out here. Yeah, bro. I was out there, like I said, man, 20 years, man, the better part of 25 years. And the people I met from LA, I can count on my hands, bro. I ain't meet a whole lot of people from LA. Hell, I'm from Ohio and I was out there. You know what I mean? So I was what really sparked it, because today I was thinking like, oh man, what can I talk about? You know what I mean? I was talking about AI yesterday, and that was a good talk. You know, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to some more episodes about some of the things that, you know, that I'm looking at. That, you know, I mean, I'm looking at some tech stuff. I'm looking at some futuristic stuff, man. I just stumbled across the story now, man, where there are sonic fire extinguishers out there, man. Like, they're using sound waves to put fires out. I didn't even know about this. Like, it blew my mind. So I'm gonna be talking about that pretty soon. And then talking about like, you know, 3D printing and where that's come, and, you know, like the future, that sort of future that's out there. But yeah, that's going to be coming up. Be looking for that. But I came across, you know, I've recently gotten into the watch world, you know, timepieces and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And I came across this YouTuber, the Time Teller, and this cat, you know, he's out there in LA. He's into watches and everything, and what I saw just kind of shocked me, right? So I'm gonna pull up his show, and it just kind of blew me away what I saw, and I just want to play this, man, get you guys' reaction to what's going on out there. Let me make sure I get the volume up, and so yeah, check this out.
Watch-related crime is on the rise, specifically where I live in California. Super unfortunate. I don't want to be here. I'm getting the F out as soon as I can, and don't worry, I'm not going to go to your state and ruin it, I promise. And
just right off rip, first thing he says is, I'm getting out of there. You know what I mean? I couldn't wait to get out of California. You know, things are just kind of crazy there, man. Like, not just their criminal law system and what's going on socially out there with homelessness and all that kind of stuff, but their family court system, their tax system. I mean, there's so many things that's bad about California. You need so much money just to survive out there, right? And they won't hesitate to take from you. And you have these disparities, especially in the court systems. Like, you sit there and you see who benefits from the court system. And if you make money, they will have zero problems taking that bread from you, right? So this brother right here is just like, oh man, I'm thinking about leaving California now because of all this stuff. But I couldn't wait to go. And this is before the madness is going on now, but let's continue.
We've made 2 episodes similar to this one covering watch-related crimes, and what brings me to making a 3rd installment, well, these crimes keep happening, but also because of a disconcerting report or notification, they call it a community alert from LAPD HQ. They write, due to an increase in violent street robberies, robbery homicide division, that means robbing, killing.
Yeah, he goes on to say that means robbing and killing. Not necessarily. It's just, you know, police department structure different. Some PDs just have strictly homicide. That's all they do. Some PDs like LA, they'll have robbery, homicide. Some, you know, they break down the violent crimes into different subsets. And it looks like in LA, you know, and it's probably because they have so many people and so much crime out there that the homicide guys got to pick up some extra weight. So like, oh, we're going to get y'all robberies too. Which, that says a lot. That's very telling that homicide is working robberies, right? Normally, you know, they have their own detectives that just run the robberies. And, you know, there was a time when California was like up there when it came to bank robberies and stuff like that. So there are a lot of robberies going on out there. So I find it very telling that homicide detectives are actually working on robberies as well. That's crazy. But let's continue.
Has become aware of an ongoing crime trend of follow home robberies. Suspects have been locating victims in Los Angeles, following them, then committing the robberies as the victim arrives home or at their business.
Bro, first time I heard of this, I was watching the Patrick Bet-David show. And then I immediately got on the phone and was hollering at my people in Cali. And they were like, yeah, bro, that's what's going on right now. Right? They're following you from the spot. Like if you're like at Melrose or, you know, like shopping somewhere high end, you know, stores, you know, at a shopping mall or something like that, a plaza, they're watching you. They're watching what you're buying. You're walking around with all your bags. So you want to do it for the gram. You get in your whip and they follow you. they follow you. And it's not like, oh, it's something they do at night. This is all times of day. Like, it doesn't matter. Morning, noon, night, doesn't matter. Coming out. So if you're in like LA, y'all know I love Mr. Childs, right? Mr. Childs is in Beverly Hills. Right. So if I'm going to Mr. Childs and I'm all dressed up and I got on, you know, nice watches, my girl's wearing jewelry, carrying nice bags, wearing nice shoes, you come up out of there, they're going to follow you to the crib. So it's crazy right now, yo. It's crazy.
Victims have been followed from such places like Melrose Ave, the jewelry district of Los Angeles, nightclubs, and high-end restaurants in Los Angeles. The target of these robberies has been expensive jewelry, including watches and necklaces. These crimes have occurred throughout the city of Los Angeles as well as neighboring cities. Different suspects have been identified and arrested for these types of crimes. The following, this is the interesting part.
And they've been putting these crimes on gangbangers. So when the media first came to law enforcement, they were like, oh, it's the gangbangers that are doing this. And they're putting all these crimes, this spike in crimes, on the gangbangers. But I'm here to tell you it's not the gangbangers. I'm not saying they're not out there doing it. They're not out there putting in work. Of course they are. But it's not simply the gangbangers. These are just people out there trying to get it, man. They hungry. They trying to get it. So, and you notice the crime starts after the PPP loan money stops. When all that stimmy money stops, that's when people started going out there and getting it. And they're putting it on gangbangers. They putting it on criminals, but it's just regular dudes. Again, transplants. Where are these people coming from? They're coming from other hoods in other states, other cities, right? They're coming from a world where they're criminally minded, right? They know what time it is. They came out to LA trying to find their fortune and fame or whatever and try to make it. They get out there and they realize that, man, I'm making $60,000, $70,000 a year and I'm living in my car. That's what it's like to live in LA. You know what I mean? They left a place where they were making $40,000, $50,000 a year and they was living pretty good, but they out in LA and they hurt and they tired, right? They're working 2-3 jobs, driving Uber, working at restaurants, working at Target, whatever. And they see these people walking around with like $80,000 on between jewelry and stuff like that, or, you know, shoes, right? You don't know how much they got in their pocket. You know what I mean? You're looking at their credit cards and all that, right? And there's been a crackdown on all the cyber crimes and like all of the fraud with credit cards. So they're not able to get as much money as they could through that, which is a less violent crime, right? So what are they doing? They snatching it right off you. You know what I mean? So it's just something to keep in mind, y'all. Brother Kennard, he's like, yep, true. People call me a unicorn. I already read that one. My bad. And he's like, facts. You're going to move very differently now. Yeah. And what's crazy is these things are happening in areas that didn't used to be, in areas that used to be considered safe. Yes. This stuff is popping off in Pasadena. You know what I mean? Altadena. This stuff is popping off in Valencia, right? This stuff is popping off in down there off of Lincoln, Playa Vista is popping off down there, right? It's popping off in Malibu. These are places that was like off limits. And when I was reading that, I'm like, yo, this ain't gangbangers. Gangbangers don't normally do that. That's too much of a risk for them. Like, nah, man, it's too many hoods to go through, first of all. And then when you get there, you're moving in streets that ain't your soil. So not only are you worried about the police, you worried about whose ever neighborhood you in. So I'm like, nah, man, that's not gangbangers. That's not gangbangers. If it's down, it's on their soil, yeah. But all the way out here going through all these other areas, nah. That what happened to Pop Smoke, rest in peace. Like, nah, these people, these are opportunists. These folks are out here. And then Brother Jason was like, got to get insurance on your expensive pieces. Yeah, you got to get insurance, but it doesn't really matter, bro, because you still might catch one. You know what I mean? You might catch one regardless. Like, you trying to take it off, you can't get it off fast enough, man. And you know what I'm saying? Get loud on you right there. You just don't know. You know what I mean? Brother Michael saying, Brother Mike, like the video. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like the video if you like it. Appreciate it. Appreciate the subs. You know what I mean? Sharing all that good stuff. Appreciate it. But, yo, it's real out there, y'all. So we're going to continue the video real quick.
The following are recommendations for community members like me. Be aware of one's surroundings for anything.
So he's going in there, he's reading his bulletin, but I mean, and he goes on to just tell some stories about how some people were getting got, right? They were getting got. There was a story of a guy who actually saw the two dudes come up on him. Like the guy was like walking down the street or whatever. He look up and see the two dudes run up on him. So he take his watch and he throws it over this fence. Like he's running, he throws the watch over the fence, and the two dudes who were trying to rob him get confused. One of them's like, run over to the fence, like, should we jump over and look for it? The other one's just like, watching dude run away, like, nah, let's get out of here. You know what I mean? They're like, so the guy's taking off his jewelry and throwing it and running. You know what I mean? Taking off a $20,000, $30,000 watch and throwing it and running away. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And there was stories of an old couple out in the Pasadena area who was coming back from dinner or whatever and got robbed. The dude had on like a $60,000 watch. Both of them got pistol whipped. We talking about two older people got pistol whipped and then had all their stuff taken from them. Think about that, bro. I mean, they gonna comply. They old folks like, take this, man. They just gonna smack you with the thing. Like, wow, that don't make this. That's crazy. And it was a story of a guy from Dallas, I think he was. He was at the Beverly Center. The Beverly Center is in Beverly Hills, man. It's like La Cienega and 3rd, La Cienega and Beverly or something like that. And actually, it's on La Cienega between 3rd and Beverly. It's big. It's a big, shopping mall. It's a big mall. That's where, everyone would go to, like, we got to go to the Beverly Center. Some dudes in the parking structure, I guess coming out of the Beverly Center, dude run up on him, smack him in the head with that thing and took his watch, man. Like, again, probably like a $30,000, $40,000 watch or something like that. Took his watch. And the guy was just visiting from Texas. Story of another couple people out there, birthday party. They go to see a friend's birthday party. They're having dinner and at one of the high-end restaurants in the Beverly Hills area again. You see, all this is happening in the Beverly. We ain't talking about the hood. We talking about Beverly Hills, right? Beverly Hills adjacent. Culver City, like we talking about, Pasadena. We talking about the nice spots, right? Why they in the nice spots? Because they know that's where they at. They know these people gonna be over here wearing their jewelry. So this guy walking out with a little Rolex on, smack him. So you had these two people who go into birthday dinner with their friend's birthday or whatever. They come out the restaurant about 1:30 because LA shuts down at 2. They come out at about 1:30. Dudes posted up outside the restaurant like, there they go. They go 2 right there. And they follow the dudes, the guys, right? The tourists see that they're being followed by an SUV and they start driving around erratically because they had an Airbnb. So they driving around erratically. They think they gave the dudes the slip. Go to the Airbnb. They did not lose those guys. The guys were still behind them, ran up on them, and got them for everything they had. All their money, all their jewelry, all their clothes. They went up. It sounds like they went up in the property and took their clothes, took their money, took their cash. They on a trip, took everything. Anything of value, they took it. Luckily, they didn't get hurt. You know what I mean? Luckily, they didn't lose their lives. You feel me? So, and I tell folks, whenever my people, anybody I know, they talking about going to LA, I'm like, man, don't get an Airbnb. Stay at a hotel. Stay at a hotel. Stay at one of the best hotel you can afford. You want that security. You want that extra security, right? Don't drive. Get you an Uber. Get you an Uber Black. Like I said, get the best that you can get. Be smart about what you're doing, right? And the bottom line is really just don't wear anything nice. I mean, that's what it boils down to. That's what I'm hearing. They basically like, just don't wear anything nice. It ain't worth it. And here's the thing, California, man, it's really hard to protect yourself. It's really hard to arm yourself. Like in the red states, man, say what you want about the red states, but at least they give you an opportunity to protect yourself if you wish, right? They uphold your constitutional right to bear arms. Now, people are like, well, it would only get crazier, right, if everybody was armed. You can think it might get crazier, or these dudes, these opportunists wouldn't give it, they wouldn't try it. Because I walk around with my nice stuff on out here in Tampa, in Miami. I ain't had no drama. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, you looking at a dude like, man, dude got on all that. He's driving this. He's got on this. He probably got some heat on him. That's what they thinking. Dude probably got some heat on him. We're going to let him go. Let's get somebody who, you know what I'm saying? Let's get somebody we think ain't armed. I'm telling you, y'all, that's the big thing. And like California, this is how they want to move. I mean, it's California. So if I'm rolling around in California, and trust me, when I was in California, I had access to firearms, bro. Let's just say if I felt I needed it, I could go get it. And the fact that makes me a criminal is outrageous. Why I got to break the law to protect myself? Why I got to break the law to protect my home, to protect my family? Right? You seeing this follow home stuff. I'm telling you what's next. Home invasions are next. Y'all mark my words. Mark my words. Watch the news coming out of LA, especially. It's going to be home invasions again. Because back in the day, that was a thing. Home invasions and carjackings. That's coming back, y'all. Because again, it's going to get hard, man. We haven't hit this recession yet. It's coming, right? The numbers keep fluctuating. It's coming. And Brother Jason sounds like how they've been snatching Cartier glasses in my hood. Yeah, they'll snatch them off your face. They'll snatch them off your face. They taking everything, bro. Man, come up out them shoes, bro. Like, you know what it is. You know what I mean? Women, come off that bag. Give me them red bottoms. They taking everything. They taking everything. You got to be careful how you move. And that's yo. I'm always reaching out to my folks out there, checking up on them. Like, man, you good? What's going on out there now? I'm telling you, home invasions are next. And they're making it so hard for you to protect yourself, which is wrong, in my opinion. That is just absolutely wrong. Right. So I saw that article and I'm like, man, what else is out there? Like, what can I find? And, I just start searching the internet, putting in keywords. And it's so bad out there that New York is talking about it, y'all. New York. This is the New York Post, August 15th of this year. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger for y'all. Oops, hit the wrong button. LAPD warns residents and tourists not to flash jewelry as robberies rise. So you turn to the police and what are they telling you to do? Hey, man, don't wear the jewelry. And if they run up on you, man, just go ahead and give them what they want. Right? Don't say nothing. When they go off, write down some information. Like, bro, LA still got homicides out there. You got homicide, those detectives are working hard. Right? So they're not going to be able to come investigate this mugging, really. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But they don't want you to be able to protect yourself. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself. That, to me, it just blows my mind, bro. So, and then, so this is New York talking about what's going on in LA. Don't flash expensive diamond watches while shopping in LA, cops warn. An uptick in violent robberies in the Melrose district and other surrounding areas prompted Los Angeles Police Department to issue somber warnings over the weekend. They just tell you not to do it. On July 14th, two masked men attempted to steal an expensive watch from a store on Melrose Avenue, and that was according to NBC News. The next day, three armed men stole a watch from a couple walking in the usually quiet area of Harper and Rosewood Avenues. Police are still searching for suspects involved in the two separate incidents. So it's not like these guys are working together, right? They just out there hunting. People are just out there hunting in general. And remember, the early reports from police were like, "Oh, these are gangbangers." Now we can see it ain't gangbangers. Well, it's not only gangbangers. Let's put it that way. LAPD issues alert informing people who frequent Melrose, the downtown Los Angeles Jewelry District, and surrounding areas where assailants are following LAPD's recent. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss a part? Assailants are following. And violently attacking innocent shoppers. So, yeah, my bad. I missed that part, right? Assailants are following and violently attacking shoppers. Right? Officials suggest residents and tourists should not wear jewelry or display expensive watches and purses when they're going to these areas of high-end restaurants, bars, clubs, etc. Stuff like this. And then they have a picture here, like this is a video. Looks like this is Melrose, where someone walks in brandishing a firearm right off rip. Give me the money. Give me whatever. And you can see right here in the picture, that's crazy. LAPD recent alert comes a year after the department issued similar warnings concerning smash and grab and follow home robberies robberies happening around the Melrose, Fairfax, and Beverly Hills areas. Again, these are nice areas, y'all. These are nice areas. What they're talking about here, Melrose, Fairfax, Beverly Hills. This ain't the hood. The hood close. You know what I mean? With no traffic, the hood's like 10, 15 minutes away. You ain't that far from South Central, but it's not South Central. On April 10th, an unarmed man shot at a store owner who was wearing a Rolex as he was walking in an alley near his store on the Melrose district around 6 p.m. Sun's still up, y'all. 6 o'clock. Dude's in the alley busting at somebody else. Like, man, give me your watch. And he starts shooting at him. This is LA. Melrose, again. Melrose is a good area, man. It's $1 million houses on north and south of Melrose. $1 million houses. Surveillance cameras caught the movement when the suspect, Jamario Kevin Ray, 22, allegedly shot at a man who then ran into a Gentry garb store. So the guy had to run into a store. Ray was arrested a few days later and was was charged with attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. His next hearing is scheduled on Wednesday. You know, and it's like, look, so the bad guys get to carry guns, but the good guys can't. Right? If the victim in his story had a weapon, at least he could have got some cover, got somewhere, tried to get away, but at least he has a weapon. And this dude probably wouldn't go after anybody if he thinks they're armed. They're not going to do that. You saw what happened in Indiana, the last active shooter that was just trying to go in there, was going to just unload on all these unsuspecting folks. And he was met with a young man who had a weapon and was trained up pretty good and stopped him. I mean, unfortunately, 3 people lost their lives. 3 innocent people were gunned down by this guy before he could be stopped by the Good Samaritan. But just imagine if that Good Samaritan wasn't armed. How many people would have lost their lives that day? You know what I mean? And here's the community alert that was on the other page, the time teller. And they just put this out. This is on, you can probably look this up right now. Go to LAPD's website, and this is probably still up. And they're just kind of telling you, like, due to the robberies, the street robberies and stuff like that. Like, and old boy read it on his, but they give you some bullet points. Here's some recommendations for community members. Be aware of one's surrounding for anything unusual or out of the ordinary before exiting your car, walking out of a restaurant, store, malls, or clubs. To people who don't understand this world, man, this is going to scare them. This is going to scare them to death. Be on the lookout for anything unusual. It's LA, man. Right? In Beverly Hills and Melrose, Fairfax area, it's so many homeless folks walking around. There's tons of stuff that's unusual going on in that area. You got to know exactly what to be looking for. You can't just be aware of anything unusual. There's a guy walking down the street carrying a lamppost with tinfoil all over his head. That's unusual. So you're going to be looking at him. Meanwhile, there's a dude creeping up on you from around the corner with his hand up under his shirt. You missed that because you're looking at the weirdo walk down the street with the tinfoil on his head. I guess it's crazy. Brother Jason, like, they out here shooting right now, man. Stay low, bro. Stay low. That's all I can tell you, man. Stay low. Keep your thing close to you. I know I keep mine close to me. No matter where I'm at in the house, I got one close. Because you just never know when it's going to pop off, man. Miss AKA ladies in the house. What's good, love? Welcome. Everybody showing love to Miss AKA lady, as y'all should. You know what I mean? Brother Roz is in the house. Peace and good blessings to you, brother. Sitting here talking about what's going on in LA. You know what I mean? I remember once upon a time things were bad in New York. Brother Roz probably remembers that. I'm not sure if he grew up in New York. I think he did. Once upon a time it was bad. That's where the Guardian Angels came from. And I remember back in the 70s, I was a youngin'. And I remember people talking about the guardian angels because people couldn't ride subways. People were getting mugged and robbed and all sorts of things all the time in New York. And Giuliani came and cleaned all that up with some heavy-handed policing, but at least he cleaned it up. So they're saying be cautious of displaying high-value property in public, such as purses, watches, and jewelry, right? Record and report suspicious activity to the police. Write down suspicious suspects, slant vehicle, and descriptions, right? Which could be dangerous because they don't know what that is. To them, anyone who doesn't look like them is suspicious. I could be walking around LA and I look suspicious if I'm walking around Hollywood, getting in and out of my whatever I'm driving, right? A Latino dude could look suspicious, right? When it could be the Asian dude who's about to rob you. They got Asian gangs out there, y'all. They got, you know what I mean? They got Vietnamese gangs, Korean gangs, Thai gangs, right? Them Asian boys ain't to be played with. They know what time it is. And they got guys who ain't affiliated with the gangs. Like they're not in the gang, but they're associated loosely with the neighborhood and they putting in work. So you just can't put stuff out here like this and just tell be on the lookout for suspicious activity. What is that? And this is why we get police officers coming to harass folks. Because somebody from some neighborhood said, "Oh, this guy looks suspicious. Here's his license plate number," and the police pull you over. I mean, it's terrible. Like if you're driving and you believe you're being followed, dial 911. If possible, drive to the nearest police station. I used to have to transfer custody of my child at the police station, bro. You could get popped outside the police station, man, and the cops won't come out right away. I'm telling you right now. Going to the police department may or may not help you. It depending on how hungry the dudes are that are following you, bro. That might not be enough. Just keeping it 100, y'all. 911 if you can get through. Right? If you are being robbed, do not resist the robbery suspects. Cooperate and comply with their demands. Be a good witness. Well, what if you're a beautiful young woman and the guys are robbing and they start telling you to take your clothes off? You're supposed to just take your clothes off? Right? They're telling you to get into the van with them. You're supposed to just get into the van with them. Now it's not a robbery, it's a kidnapping. What are we talking about here? This don't make any sense to me. You're going to snatch my daughter off the street and she's supposed to just do what you tell her. Now I want her to fight for her life. Don't get in that van. Don't get in that car, right? Throw the money, throw the jewelry and take off running the other way. Start screaming. Get some help from somebody. But the fact that no one can arm themselves out there, all the good guys, and not necessarily going to be eager to run out there and take one for you. It's terrible. Right? After a robbery, immediately call the police department by dialing 911. Immediately write everything down so you can remember about everything you can remember about the crime. Right? Suspect and the suspect's vehicle. You ain't going to do that, man. Your adrenaline pumping so hard. You're going to be shaking. Write down on what? They took your phone. Right? They probably took your phone. They took your money. They took your watch. Write down on what? Shit, they might have taken your car. You're going to be sitting there shaking. You'll be happy you alive. What do you mean? It's all going to be a jumble. I can tell you the first time somebody pulled out a weapon on me, I couldn't describe that person, man. I could describe the gun. I could tell you exactly what that gun, it was a black Smith & Wesson, right? 38 special, 5 rounds, it was a bullet in each chamber. I saw all that. There was a little crack in the handle. I could tell you everything about that pistol that was in my face, but I don't know anything about the person who was holding it. All that, man. All that takes training, yo. Brother Ross is like, yes, I remember born and raised. Looks like BX High School in Brooklyn. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, New York was rough back in the day. Brother Ross came up in that. Flavor Flav 911 is a joke, especially in our neighborhoods. That is a joke, man. Get up, get down. 911 is a joke in your town. Get up, get down. Yeah, shout out to Flavor Flav. Shout out to Flavor Flav, man. Public enemy. Miss AKA lady, as a woman, your purse and keychain needs to be set up. And pray that you can keep your mind in the middle of the conflict. Yeah. I mean, stuff like that. Like if you got some mace or something like that, that could help you out. But again, it can also hurt you. You know what I mean? It could really hurt you. Like when you're dealing with situations like that, You want everybody to stay calm. You know what I mean? You just here, you can have all that, man. You can take the money, take the credit cards, got the jewelry, whatever, shoes, man. You can have all that. And they try to take you. That's when you need that little extra. That's when you need that pistol. You know what I mean? Because you pull out some mace or whatever, you nervous, man. They can grab your hand, snatch that mace, and use it on you. You know what I mean? Stun gun, same thing. They can take that stun gun from you and use it on you. Because you have to kind of do stuff with that. But, you back up, you carrying properly. You got a holster weapon where if you can get to that weapon, you can fire from the hip. And just the noise alone is going to make everybody run. That's the thing, man. You let one of them things go, everybody starts running. So, but it's just, it's scary out there, y'all. It's scary. I'm just saying, this is just the beginning. It's scary. You know what I mean? And Ms. AK is like, yep. That's why I said person keychain. Yep, those options right there, man. Canada ADL, what's the time you were in LA? I was in LA from basically from 98 until 2019, into 2019. Yeah, end of 2019. And then, of course, I spent during that time frame. It wasn't all LA. I spent 3 years in San Diego. I spent 4 years in 3 years in Miami, 2 years in San Diego. But the majority of that time was there. So it was, like 20 years in LA. And I lived all over LA, man. I was in North Hollywood, bro. I was in Van Nuys. I was in Valencia, Stevens Ranch, Playa Vista, Studio City. And I was in Hollywood, but Studio City was where I enjoyed living there the most. Studio City is nice, just over the hill from Hollywood, as you know. But even Studio City, bro, like you gotta be careful over there too. Gotta be careful over there. So I mean, and the article went on. The officers are still searching for 2 additional suspects involved in the April 10th attempted robbery. The store owner, brother Anquan Hayden, told CBS News that the incident has jarred his entire family. We all want to wear our watch. We all want to wear our jewelry, but we may have to leave that stuff at home. That's what Hayden said. We have to, maybe, because it's just not worth anyone's lives. So, and that's how they living out there, right? Maybe we should just leave our stuff at home. That's how about we beef up law enforcement and we go after these people? How about, we do something about this? How about we allow people to carry, legally carry weapons? How about we do these things? Let's get at a shot. You know what I mean? Which I don't think California is going to do that. So I left. It is what it is, bro. Like, I left. Yeah. Yeah, I did damn near live in the entire county, bro. I was all over the place, bro. I was down in Long Beach too, man. I was down in Orange County a lot, doing stuff. Didn't live there, but I spent a lot of time down there, especially when I was a comedian, man. I was everywhere, bro. Alhambra, Pasadena, Santa Barbara, you know what I mean? Palmdale. Like, dude, I was everywhere doing shows. But I always lived like, either in LA or the Valley. You know what I mean? It was an even split. It was an even split. But man, I'm telling y'all, it's insane. I don't understand why people are so afraid. I don't. And there was one last thing, and this will be a quick one, y'all. Act Ozzy's in the house. What's good, bro? How you feeling? Show you some love, man. As we grow, it's gonna come a time when I won't be able to do that for everybody, but I can do it now, so I'm gonna do it. But there's another thing I wanted to share, and this has to do with what's going on with the Justice Department. What's going on politically in this country. There's a shift, man, and I've been kind of like whatever, like, man, nah. Like these people just whatever. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to give it more thought as to what's going on. But here's an article. I was watching TV and MSNBC was on. And before anybody goes crazy or whatever, here's the thing with I look at MSNBC like I look at Fox. Right? They're pandering to their people. MSNBC couldn't be happier that Trump, that Trump is going through this stuff. Their ratings have been suffering since he left the White House. Now they got some new Trump stuff, right? And this is what this is how they've been making their money. You know what I mean? Ari Melber and, Joe Scarborough, which I like. You know what I mean? Y'all know he was big time Republican and he's kind of come over to the other side, which is crazy. And then you got, I forget the name of the other woman who was like the big time, far left. Anyway, now that this is going on, oh, bro, it's been nothing but Trump. And then you go to the other side, Fox. They're doing everything they can to stay away from the story, right? But their news department, Fox News Department, is a legit news department. And they'll tell you what's going on. They are reporting the news, but that's getting buried beneath Hannity and The Five and all those other, like Tucker. That's all getting buried. So it's just, and I ain't mad at them, man. They got to pander to their base, man. They got to pay bills, bro. They got to make money. I ain't mad at them. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Wow. And hopefully that'll come soon when we're not a cult. Yeah, man. Bro, MSNBC is worse because at least people know Fox is Fox. At this point, people know MSNBC is MSNBC. So I put them in the same boat, bro. Like I don't watch, I generally, since I've been in Tampa, I've been staying away from the political stuff. I was a huge political guy in LA. Huge. I was plugged in all the way, y'all. Since I've been in Tampa, not so much. Because it's so much work to get to the good stuff, bro. Like it's so hard to find the quote unquote truth. You got to go through so many sources, man. Okay, let me listen to Fox. I listen to 30 minutes of Fox. Okay, it might be 4 minutes of real news in there. Okay, let me write that down. MSNBC, I listen to the same thing. I listen 30 minutes of MSNBC. It might be 2 minutes of real good stuff, like real news in there, like, stuff that I can use. Okay, now I go to CNN. You go to CNN, and it's like still that liberal slant. It's a big liberal slant. You're trying to find, okay, let me find the real story, the nitty gritty in here. So I'm looking for that. Then I go to Al Jazeera. Then I go to BBC. And then I do the whole thing over with print. You know what I mean? I'm not buying the papers, but I'm online reading these articles. You know what I mean? Associated Press. You know what I mean? PBS, NPR. Right? You got to go through all this stuff, man. And you got to piece it together yourself. Right? Because it's a bunch of stuff you got to sift through. And it's like, damn, we don't even have a reliable news source in this country. We just don't have it. They're hard to find, bro. It's like finding real hip hop. We got all this bullshit out here, but it's really hard to find the good hip hop. People dropping, dropping bars. It's hard to find that. You got to go look for it. It's out there, but you got to go look for it. Brother Kennard was like, yeah, Los Angeles is definitely becoming Gotham City. Good point, bro. And we don't have Batman. Hell no, y'all don't. You know what I mean? We don't have Batman yet. I guess you might be up to something, bro. I don't know. But to be honest, I've always said LA would not be my permanent home. I may be leaving it soon too. And there's a lot of people. There's a great, this great flight out of California. And that's got to be, that's bad for California. It affects the tax base out there. So, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm telling you, man, come on to Florida, bro. The water is perfect out here, man. Or Texas is nice. Georgia is nice. Alabama is nice, bro. Like, you got some places that are slow. Just live by the airport, bro. Your dollar's going to go far. You can do your thing, come home, live like a king, get bored, jump on a plane, go somewhere, man. Atlanta, depends on where in Atlanta. It can be kind of, pricey out there, but you know what I mean? And if you don't mind the cold, bro, shoot, Michigan, right? Michigan, Minnesota, like Minneapolis, man, Kansas City, Oklahoma. Dude, there's some places where the dollar goes far. You know what I mean? Rod's saying the same here for me in NYC, man. Got to get out. Yeah, it's crazy because it's so far. Any place is so far one way or the other. You got to rethink your situation. If it's too far left or too far right, it's not cool. You know what I mean? It's just not cool. Like there has to be a balance in the middle somewhere. But yeah, man, like I said, Florida's cool, bro. It's costing a little bit more to live here. It's not as cheap as it once was, or I hate to say cheap, but I can't think of a better word. But you know, it's way cheaper than LA. It's way cheaper than New York. To y'all, it'll be dirt cheap if y'all came out here. But what I got up here now is an article from the Atlantic. I was watching MSNBC, and this author, Tim Alberta, you know what I mean, author for the Atlantic, and you know, he's definitely left. I mean, he's liberal, right? He's blue, dark blue, this writer. It's a pretty long article. I mean, it's worth reading if you want to check it out. But I wanted to harp on the last few paragraphs of this article. And this is going to tie it back to Cali, LA. So let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Right. So Biden is playing with fire by using a document to dispute to get the at Justice Department to prosecute a likely future election opponent. And that's from Senator Mark Rubio from Florida, because one day what goes around is going to come around. All right. So Rubio is saying that. But the article goes on, and then what? It feels lowest common denominator, lazy in such uncertain times to default to speculation of 1860 styles secession and civil war, but it's clearly on the minds of Americans. Right. I mean, he's right, because people keep saying this, and it does feed to the lowest common denominator. Are we going to, you know, red states, blue states, you know, autonomous, our own countries? He continues, last year, a poll from the University of Virginia showed that the majority of Trump voters, 52%, and a strong minority of Biden voters, 41%, strongly or somewhat agree that America is fractured. They would favor red and blue states seceding from the Union to form their own countries. Meanwhile, a poll from the Washington Post and the University of Maryland showed that 1 in 3 Americans believe violence against the government is justified. And a separate poll by NPR earlier this year showed that 1 in 10 Americans believe violence is justified right now. There are people out there thinking this, right? Now, again, when you look at these polls, you got to see how they're posing the questions and what are your choices, what options can you choose, right? But I mean, I don't want y'all to think, and I'm not trying to imply that the majority of Americans feel this way, right? It's the fringes. It's the fringes on both sides. They're saying these things. Right. So it's hard to see how any of this gets better, but it's easy to see how it gets much, much worse. We don't exactly know what the FBI was looking for at Mar-a-Lago. We don't know what was found. We must acknowledge, even those of us who believe Trump has committed crimes, in some cases blazingly so, and deserves full prosecution under the law, is that bringing him to justice could have some awful consequences. Is the justice worth the associated risks? Yesterday, the nation's top law enforcement officers decided it was. We can only hope they were correct. This is the part right here. This is the fear that I don't like right here. This is the fear that California lives in right now. Right, when you're sitting there wondering, like, well, should we uphold the law even if people get hurt? That shouldn't even be a question. Absolutely, we're going to uphold the law. That's what we're based on. We're going to uphold the law. What do you mean? Well, is it worth it? Maybe we should just look the other way. Oh, y'all want to look the other way now? Y'all didn't want to look the other way when I was out there hustling. Right? Y'all ain't want to look the other way when my dudes were out there putting in work, but y'all want to look the other way now? Because you afraid that these fat dudes on either side with their little ARs or whatever, you think they're going to come out and do something? Do you really think they're going to come out en masse and do something? You are afraid? Come on now. How was this country formed? Do you think the founding fathers were afraid? Do you think the Minutemen were afraid? Do you think those guys who had to face, right, Great Britain, the most fearsome army the world has ever seen up until that point, you think they were afraid? Of course they were afraid. Right? Do you think the men, like the men who landed on Normandy Beach, you think they were afraid? Of course they were afraid. Like, we can't let fear keep us from doing what needs to be done. That's the whole point. When I look at California is where they are today because of fear. And what's funny about California is that it's not even like the fear of like physical violence. It's the fear of what others will think of you. That's what blows me away in California. Y'all got a homeless problem because you won't let the police department do something about it. Y'all got people that are homeless that are, clinically, gone. Like, these people are real crazy, but you don't want to house them in an institution where you can keep them safe, keep them from hurting each other, keep them from hurting other people. You don't want to do that. Bill Burr talked about that in his bit. Hey, I need to watch that bit. Bill Burr is brilliant. They don't want to do that for fear of someone saying they're oppressive or, oh my God, those people have feelings too. Like, well, they can have all the feelings they want inside them padded rooms. Now you got them on the street running around with knives and stuff, man, because we're talking about people getting robbed by folks who are out there robbing, but there are also homeless folks out there who are dangerous, man. Then you got the people who are addicted to substance abuse, man. The meth, the heroin, and all that. It's rampant out there. And they won't allow the police department to disperse these homeless encampments. When you call 911 because you got some homeless dude who high on heroin in your front yard sleeping or taking a dump, the police just tells you, oh, well, and you can't get your weapon and tell them to get off your property. That's going on in Venice. That's going on in Santa Monica right now. Right. That's going on in all the nice areas in the valley right now. And on top of all that, you got people following you home to rob you. That's on California. Because people are afraid or were afraid back then what others would think. Right? You look at Rodney King. Look at the Rodney King thing, right? Those police officers, those cops were wrong. They should have been dealt with by the state. The feds should not have had to come in there and deal with them for violating Brother Rodney King's civil rights. The state should have taken care of them, and they didn't, because they didn't want, hey, those are the cops. We don't want to, we back the blue. Those few cops were wrong and should have been dealt with. But you didn't do anything about it. And it began to grow. It's just grown out of control, right? Riots are wrong. Period. I'm never engaged in a riot or rioting. Why? Right? Riots are wrong. And if you out there rioting and you looting, right, you damaging property, you doing all this kind of stuff, you should get arrested. When they catch you, you should get arrested. They catch you on video, whatever. That's you. Get them. You should get arrested. It's wrong. You should deal with that. Right? You got to have law and order. But in California, they didn't want to do that. And then they turn the police loose. And we've talked about that. Police officers need more training. They should be better compensated. We've talked about that. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, man, go back and watch those videos when we talked about law enforcement. Right? We have to have the right people for the job, and then we need to support them and hold them accountable for said job. Period. California doesn't want to do that. And at the same time, they don't want you to have a weapon. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself. Right? They're telling you, hey, if you work really hard and you got yourself a nice timepiece, don't wear it when you go outside, because somebody's going to come knock you over the head and take it. And there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we're going to do about it. That's so wrong, man. People live in fear and refuse to do what needs to be done. And that goes to that article that guy was writing from the Atlantic. Right? Should we go after someone who broke the law? Absolutely. I don't care who he is. Even though these people following him, they might come out and they're not going to be rational, and they might do something. Let them come. right? Abraham Lincoln was sitting in the White House. There was no might about it. The Confederate States of America were going to succeed. There were no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There was no might. So what was Lincoln supposed to do? Just let it happen? Oh, okay, I guess we'll be cool. No, man, this is it. This is what freedom looks like. This is how it works. It's hard work. You got to put in the work, and you got to be willing to do what you need to do. That's how it works, y'all. It's all right there for us. You can't allow these people, these sheeple, to throw away your freedom because they want to feel safe. You can't do that, y'all. You can't do it. You cannot do it. So here we are. You know what I mean? California is just toast, right? Brother Roz is saying that the same thing looks like the same thing is happening in New York. Like, it's cool down here in Florida. Yeah, DeSantis is going to be DeSantis. Trump is going to be Trump. Pelosi is going to be Pelosi. You know what I mean? Biden's going to be Biden. It goes on and on and on and on. You know, luckily we have these platforms where people can say stuff. Man, I'm just here saying this stuff as a regular dude who's worked his butt off his whole life. And I've managed to touch all these different bubbles. I'm here to tell you, hey, man, every now and then there's a correction. We're facing a correction right now. Don't back down. Don't back down. Don't let some people over here scare you. You know what I mean? Y'all be talking about bullying, anti-bullying, how you deal with a bully. You go in his mouth. That's how you deal with a bully. Right? The Justice Department just went in Trump's mouth. There's a report of Trump saying that they took his passports. Yo, I'm here to tell you, unless that was a mistake, they mistakenly took his passports, which is possible, right? It's a few things going on there. But when the feds come, they know what they're doing. Generally, they don't make mistakes. They don't generally take away shit that they didn't come for. If they took away his passports, that means he's probably considered a flight risk. If that's the case, if they really took his passport, right, on purpose, he got real problems, y'all. Real problems. So get ready to deal with whatever's finna come, because they ain't gonna let you look at that affidavit, especially if it has to do with national security. But they're probably gonna let a Democrat and a Republican, maybe just a couple of them and some attorneys, go into one of those secure rooms, and they're gonna open that indictment so they can see it. And then they can go back to the representative parties and be like, nah, man, this is legit. This is legit. And that's all they're going to be able to say. Like, no, this is real. The Republican and the Democrat, this is real. And then the rest of those people out there are going to be like, fake news, fake news, fake news. Go get the strap. Go get it. Go get it. Y'all messing with the wrong entity. The feds? Dudes on the street don't want to deal with the feds. The cartels don't want to deal with the feds. Nobody wants to deal with the feds, man. When they come knocking, it's a problem, right? Nobody wants to deal with the feds. So y'all think y'all gonna do something? Go do something. Go get the strap. Go do something. If y'all think that's what it is, y'all gonna run up on them boys. That is not your local PD. The feds got real training. We done told y'all, man. Guantanamo Bay, they train them boys up right. Them boys and girls know what they doing. They don't want any smoke. They're just doing their jobs. And you got all these Republicans out here talking this big smoke. And y'all going to start to see a rift within those Republicans. You got these Democrats on the other side calling themselves doing little victory laps and laughing and stuff like that. But guess what? They're going to go after them too. Because everybody done did a little dirt in D.C. And the feds don't forget, bro. Now they got to come after you. You know, went after a former president of the United States. We got to come after the rest of y'all. We got to. It could be a whole new game. And as far as the people running out here talking about they want to do something to the police, they want to run up on the feds, they want to do this and that. Don't do that. Because the feds got something for you, man, for real. They got something for you. They ain't playing, right? They don't want to do nothing to you, but they will. Don't make them boys nervous. And then all these people out here looking towards our community and people like us. Man, we've been telling y'all this. We've been telling y'all this. We know what's up with law enforcement. I cannot believe Republicans are running around talking about cancel the FBI. Are you kidding me? Defund the FBI. I know a lot of people back in the hood is like, yeah, please defund them. Please. They'll make a quick $1 billion or $2 billion, right? Get the FBI offline for 6 months. Get the FBI offline for 6 months and watch what the streets do. Man, it's going to be a whole bunch of brand new millionaires and billionaires. Man, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That and defund the police. Have y'all lost y'all mind, Republicans, over some dude who got mass cases? Dude, Georgia is after this man. The Southern District of New York is after this man. The feds, the Justice Department after this man. IRS after this man. I'm sorry, bro. You got to call a spade, bro. I'm not a fan of the guy, but yo, it is what it is, man. Like, these people looking for him, bro. Like, these people looking for you. They ain't making this up. They don't want to deal with this. So yeah, I got a little bit off the tangent, man. But California, man, y'all better figure it out. Y'all losing y'all folks. All that tax-based money leaving. All the businesses are leaving. California, y'all better do what y'all supposed to do. Y'all can't even protect y'all citizens, and then you refuse to allow them to protect themselves. There's nothing else you can do but leave. California, what are y'all doing? Quit being scared. Quit being scared. Y'all gonna have to do something about that homelessness out there. Y'all got to get these people off the street, get them some help, man. Y'all got to get them some help. You can't sleep on the sidewalks. You can't sleep. Y'all got to do something about that. You got people making $60,000, $70,000 a year sleeping in their car. And y'all don't even want to help them get a safe place to sleep in their car. Now it's all over San Diego, California, San Francisco. You can go to places, and I don't know if they're paying rent or not, but there's secure places where you can bring your car, you can park and sleep there. Like little communities of people who sleep in their cars, and they have these parking lots that they use, and they have security guards, and this is where they live. This is how they're living. I don't understand why anybody would want to live like that personally, but this is what they're doing. And they had to fight to get that because the cops would come and take your car if you were sleeping in your car. That is crazy, man. So y'all got to, I'm just winding it down. I'm done. I just wanted to get that off my chest. California, y'all better do something. California, y'all better do something. You know what I mean? And it's the rest of us. Better look at what's going on in California and don't let it happen where you living. Don't let it happen. Right? It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, man. It's who you are putting in these offices, who you are electing to these positions. Hold their feet to the fire. Don't let them do this stuff. Don't let them do it. Because you're going to be the one dealing with it. They're not dealing with it. It falls to you to deal with. So make sure y'all paying attention. Y'all elections are coming up. Make sure y'all paying attention. Go out there and vote. Make sure who y'all putting on y'all school boards. Make sure they know what they're doing. Make sure what judges you're voting for. If you get to vote for your judges, man, look at their record. See who you voting for. Y'all need to do that, man. Y'all need to do that. Can't be mad at nobody but yourself, man, if you don't do your homework and if you don't go out there and vote. Only person you can be mad at is you. Right? Make sure you do that. And it's crazy. I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm coming offline now. Brother Roz, it's very difficult getting a gun legally in New York City. Even if you have a clean record, the police run you through the ringer. And when you are accepted, it's $350 every 3 to 5 years. Wow. It ain't like that here. Wow. And it's really difficult in LA County. Certain counties, right? It's up to the sheriff in California. There's certain counties where the sheriff is fine. They'll here you go. Go through classes. It's real classes and stuff like that. You make it through the class, bam, you get your weapon, get your concealed carry. You ain't gonna get it in LA County. You're not gonna get it. It's certain counties where it's just not gonna happen, and other counties where you are gonna get it. Man, it's just crazy. It shouldn't be that way. Brother Michael's giving me some love. Like the video. Shout out to DL Saint. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm done, y'all, man. Enjoy y'all Monday. Have a good night. You know what I mean? Thanks everybody who was in here, brother Michael. You know what I mean? Brother Roz, Canardak is in the house. You know what I mean? Act Ozzy came through. Appreciate that, bro. Miss AKA Lady, always a pleasure having you in. You know what I mean? Coming through, showing love. Brother Jason was in here tonight. Appreciate all that, y'all, for sure. So yeah, man, I'm done. That was me talking about California, and then mostly talking about what's going on with our system, man. Let's hold people accountable, man. Let's do the job, man. Let's get out there and vote. Let's be responsible Americans, man, and get out there and take control of our system on both sides, bro. That's how I see it. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.